Hello everyone and welcome to one of my new videos. Today is episode 6 of the SR2 Pacifist series. This episode will be paced a bit different than the other episodes, so it might not be what you're fully used to, but I feel like it's going to be easier to watch than the other ones at least. It's going to be like maybe a little bit higher quality for some viewers, but it's going to be the same mostly. I'm going to do submissions and stuff like that, explain them through, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. So the first thing I actually decided to do was not even a mission. I decided to hop onto the insurance fraud to get the sprint speed up, or the sprint longevity. I wanted to be able to sprint indefinitely without having to worry about my stamina. This will help me out immensely due to the fact that I won't have to worry about my stamina at all. I'll be able to run through all the enemies and all the missions. I'll be able to do most of the things that I wasn't able to do before, like blitz submissions and stuff, make them a lot quicker. Then we'll actually focus on the missions that are actually difficult later on, you know? We won't have to worry about trivial things that are, in my opinion, completely pointless to worry about. And this can be done easily without harming anybody. I mean, you're hitting cars. You won't be hurting anybody in this mission unless you're actively trying. So it's more of just a completion thing. I mean, some of them I would include more of. This one I only included the finishing because, yeah, you don't have to worry about me hurting anybody in this mission, or in this activity rather. Because, I mean, the only time you can is if people are on the side of the road and you hit them by accident, or if you explode your car on people. But, I mean, you can't even use guns in this, so I wouldn't really say that's much of an issue, really. Or even a possibility. And as you can see, I used the downtown method as well, which made these a lot easier. If you know how to do this, it's basically, you just go to the area, then you go to this area. Like, no matter what area you get, you can get projects, and then you go here instead. When you're here, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You just drive over here, and then you just get hit by these cars. It's a really great area to gain a lot of insurance money. So according to the series progression, we have to do the next Samani mission, but if you play the game enough, you know the next Samani mission is one where you actually would absolutely need 2 homies. And I was looking for the requirement on how to get 2 homies. You have to do certain gang activities, enough of them to get the second homie slot. It can be from any gang. So I decided I wanted to branch out. I needed to do some of the other gangs in the progression to get to the Samani mission where I would actually need to use it. So I decided to start with the Brotherhood. I didn't touch the Ronin because that's going to be a completely different storyline. And you need 2 homies for the first one there too, so it wouldn't really help that much to start with that one.
Maero?
That's right.
Where's your crew then?
I don't need one.
You sure about that? I could kill you right now.
No, you couldn't.
What do you want?
Listen, I'm not stupid. I know who you are. There's no reason for us to tear each other apart.
I'm listening.
Here's what I'm thinking. We divide still.
I hear voices this way!
Shit!
So overall, this mission is actually quite easy compared to the other missions. I was considering starting on this instead of the Samani route for obvious reasons, but due to the missions that come up later on in the story, I decided to not pick this one and start with the Samani one instead. The start is basically just, you get ambushed by the police, you have to run out of this place, you have to get out and into the Brotherhood's headquarters in any way possible. And I somehow managed to get busted. Just ignore that, you know. I actually did not even know you could get busted in missions, because it never happened. But you know, it's your regular get through the area and wait for the enemies to die and stuff. Like, it's the guys to take out all the enemies in the area. I mean, you don't even need to do this. At this point, I do have the unlimited sprint, so I can just use that if I want to. But I wanted to take out all the enemies just because I just wanted to see what the homies could do, you know? Maybe they get some better weapons. I mean, I'm not going to use them later on, but low IQ thought, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to run up here and stuff. Like, this part would have been a lot more difficult if I did not have the insurance fraud sprint speed. Or the sprint stamina. Basically, you can blitz this entire part. If you want to, you can literally just run through this entire area without even worrying about the homies. Basically what I did towards the end, because yeah, clearing these enemies gets really slow. I decided to take the boat route as well because it has less chance of causing any problems later on, you know? Having to go through the road, actually having to kill some enemies. I didn't do any of that in this mission.
So here we are.
Jesus, it's like a coked up sideshow.
Pretty impressive, huh?
Aren't you worried about being in the open?
People know to stay away. How's my truck coming?
It'll be ready for the competition.
Thanks, Donnie.
You know that guy? Later.
You're back!
Come on. You expected anything less?
Hi, I'm Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Carlos.
I'm still Jessica. You know, you remind me of my old house cleaner. I'm kidding. I was kidding.
Babe, you want to count the cash?
Sure.
Yo, Matt, you ready to work?
Hey, aren't you the guitarist for the Feed Dogs?
Don't encourage him.
Listen, lady, you guys met at one of my concerts, so I don't want to hear it.
Don't you think you have enough tattoos?
Brother, I got a lot of canvas left. So let's get back to business. The Brotherhood is about to come into something big, and I think the Saints are going to want to get in on the ground floor.
So what's the offer?
2080.
I'm assuming I get the 80.
Yeah, sure you do.
You really expect me to take 20 and say thanks?
On your hands and fucking knees.
Is this a joke? I used to own...
Used to is right. Time's passed you by. Now you're a has-been with some burn scars.
I suggest you shut the fuck up before...
You're kidding me, right?
Hey man, be cool.
You really think that a couple of washed-up bangers like you and Gat have a chance against the Brotherhood?
We'll see. Let's go, Carlos.
Honey, you want me to have someone take care of them?
Nah. They'll be dead soon enough.
The next mission we had to do was actually the stronghold that's not even classified as a Brotherhood mission. It's classified as a Saints stronghold. In my opinion, that makes no sense because it is in a Brotherhood area. But, I mean, what could I say? You're trying to get this place out. You're trying to clear this place of any hobos and stuff. It's actually the easiest stronghold I would ever even consider. Like, it's incredibly easy. Simply go out here and destroy the shanties, and that's pretty much the entire stronghold, basically. No more explanation needed. Honestly, for the next one, I wish I could say the same about its ease, but this stronghold turned out to be one of the most difficult strongholds I've ever done in the game. It just is a multi-part mission with just way too much going on, in my opinion. And it's also incredibly difficult to get anything done without kills. It's just incredibly tedious. This first part is actually not that bad. I only have to go through this area just to get to the control room, or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like part where you have the area and the map mapped out. Basically in this trailer park, you're gonna get these satchel charges to blow up all the trailers. So if you do this normally, you will always have people in the area and you will get unnecessary kills all the time. Like right here, I did not check if there were any opponents or enemies in the area, but I don't think this one actually had any. I think I got lucky on this one. For the second one, I tried the same strat. I had no strategy before coming into this. It was like my first attempt. I was just looking if it was doable. And you know, later on I decided that I wanted a little bit of a safer strat. You know, I didn't want to directly be involved with the killings and stuff. I didn't want to be murderous. So I wanted to do something a bit cleaner. It turns out it's a lot harder than I thought, you know, not getting hit and stuff like that. And yeah, I did end up taking a lot of attempts. I actually do not need any homies for this. Homies are kind of redundant. So when I got to the first area, I would just park my car and then I would wait for the opponents to finish off my car, not myself. So it ended up being a very time-consuming task, of course. I wouldn't really call it difficult. The only part that's difficult is keeping off the heat, not getting hit a lot. Not hurting anybody is not a big issue, but yeah, the stalling gets a bit difficult after a while because your wanted level actually increases, like your notoriety increases substantially as the further we go in this stronghold. You end up having 4 bars on you, which is not the best. It's pretty difficult to deal with 4 bars, especially while not hurting anybody. You know, when you're trying to move and stuff, there are cars all over the place trying to hit you and stuff, and you get a lot of accidental kills. Like when I got launched into the air here, I landed on a pedestrian, and that actually counts as a kill, which was absolute bullshit. And here I was helping them out a bit by damaging the car myself, and I didn't finish it off, surprisingly. It wasn't my hit, that was the final one. And for this one, yeah, I did the same strat, damaging it to black level and then letting them do the rest of the work. You know, that part is relatively easy, to be honest. So I got 2 labs destroyed in this moment. I was gonna go for 3, and then I have this other car that has a little bit less health than the big car I used at the start, you know. I think for the mission completion also matters how durable the car is that you use. These explosions actually take out these things most of the time, and I accidentally got it down to 0 health. I didn't have time to check if I actually murdered somebody in that instance. I'm not sure if I did. Needless to say, I did have to do the rest of the mission just normally, and I did check this time, and I ended up having to actually test if these actually did anything. So 369, and I deploy this satchel charge, and still, after checking it after the explosion, it ends up that it didn't really do anything. It still says 369. But that all didn't really matter, because when I was going for my 5th, I got a bit too greedy with the damage and got smoked. I had to do another attempt while I was using these other trucks. Had a little bit less health, or I don't even know. Basically, when I was going for the second one, I used the same truck and managed to hit someone by accident. Yeah, so that was obviously reset, you know. The count was, just so you know, the count is over at like 370 right now, just for future reference. With that other kill, it's 370 in the save. So when I came here, I had this NPC that just randomly died in the car. I was gonna look if this was my doing, but after looking at the stats, it still says 370, so it was not a stat increase because of me. It had nothing to do with my intervention, so I could continue with the mission as normal. Of course, this process does take a little while to complete, just like every stage. And I wanted to speed this footage up since this is actually the run I got the mission done. You know, I wanted to prove it was done legit. So without the sound, it's pretty hard to tell if this was actually my kill, but it actually is not my explosion. So I did do it correctly. After this next one, I used one of these again. Of course, I had to wait, and then it wasn't even because of me this one exploded. It had nothing to do with me, actually. I think someone threw a grenade or something. Or I think it was a pipe bomb, to be honest. And then this car was... Yeah, this one was probably pretty dicey. I mean, it got pretty close. I'm surprised that shotgun shot didn't hit me, actually. That would have actually got me completely down in health if that actually did hit. But they ended up exploding that stuff themselves. And for the last one, it was actually the easiest one of the group, you know. This one was the only one where you just pretty much went in here and waited for that shit to finish on its own. You didn't even have to put in any actual work for this one. And yeah, that was actually surprisingly one of the hardest ones. And for proof, here you can see my stats did not go up at all in this. I finally had 2 homie slots so I could actually do that next Heli mission.
I can't take all this sitting around. When you gonna let me come out and do some dirt with you?
Don't take it the wrong way, Pierce. I'm just used to dealing with shit myself.
Heads up, Pierce. Come on.
Sorry, girl. No self-respecting brother plays hacky sack. Why you got the cheerleader calling the shots and not me?
Right here.
Pierce, I put you in charge of the Ronin. What more do you want?
I can do more to help.
Do you know how the Sons of Samdi are still moving product after we torched their farm and drug labs?
No?
Then shut the fuck up.
Why you gotta be like that?
I'm just saying, don't bitch unless you got a solution.
Guys.
My solution is to do more than wait around for one of the 600 guys Shonda used to fuck to give us a call.
There's a bunch of helicopters dropping cargo over Samdi territory.
How the hell you know that? Gotta be fucking kidding me.
I tell you what, Pierce. If you want to watch me blow up some helicopters, you're more than welcome.
About time you took me along.
Pierce.
No, I'm serious. I'm always on time. I always listen. I always pay attention.
Pierce. Helicopters.
I know we're looking for helicopters. I told you I got this.
The fucking helicopters are here, Pierce!
Shit!
So it doesn't really take the smartest people to know that this mission would 100% need 2 homies, especially if one of them is taking over the car. And you basically have to shoot down helicopters over a wide area. It's pretty obvious that you need 2. Almost indefinitely. I was trying to do no damage in the first run, and it kind of turned out the other guy didn't have a weapon either. So I couldn't really do anything at that point. But I did do some attempts while not hitting the opponent at all. It seemed like it was pretty impossible, even when the opponent had weapons. I don't know if I don't think I recorded that in this video, because I did some testing off camera and stuff, and it just didn't seem possible in my opinion. So I had to help out the AI a little bit throughout the mission, but of course I didn't do the final shot, so it didn't count. But it just doesn't feel right doing that much damage to the helicopter for the AI. You know, it seems like they just have to finish him off a little bit. It seems like a little bit of cheating, but we roll with it for the most part throughout these ones. And yeah, otherwise with this intervention, the mission becomes pretty damn easy, I would say. This is not a very difficult one, of course. Did not take me that long at all. This is like almost unedited footage. It was like my, what, 2nd or 3rd try that I got to this point, so yeah. I mean, there's a weird interaction here where, yeah, I don't think I got the homie on me with this boat. Homie wasn't with me, so yeah, I couldn't do it on my own. So obviously this was a fail, you know. I couldn't get the kill on my own because there's no one else doing the damage. I'm the only one. And yeah, you see there's a timing to this, so if they get caught, if they finish their deal, like, you fail the mission instantly. But when I restarted it, you know, everything was going right. My homie was actually in the boat this time, you know. And this part was actually the easiest part of the mission because, yeah, in the water there's nothing else to shoot. so they got a really good aim on it. I actually didn't have to do much work at all in this one. Probably the one with least intervention. I was actually considering putting it on hardcore. I was thinking if I was on casual right now because it seemed too easy. Now we got back on land, and then now that we're back on land, I didn't actually know how this mission went. I gotta be honest, I was stuck for a while. But for this next part, you know, same goes pretty much, just with the higher wanted level. So the AI is focused on a little bit of other stuff at the same time, but it still didn't end up being that much of an issue because the helicopters just have so little health. And I actually managed to put the final blow by accident, so I had to reset this part. Just one reset so far because of that, I think 2, including the start part, you know. But yeah, these have very low health. Indeed, I think they have been lowered so you hit them easier. At least that's what it seems like, because a few hits just takes them down instantly. And this time the AI was getting pretty distracted with the opponents and stuff, but this one was a pretty close one. But I ended up doing minimal damage at the end of the day, and then the last one is, yeah, it flies pretty close, so the AI can do pretty much full damage.
You know why I am here.
I do.
I took no pleasure in this, my friend, but a price needed to be paid for failure.
Don't worry. I only need one ear to hear the whispers of the Loa.
I know that you will fix this.
Of course, General. Do not worry.
Mr. Sunshine, come on, man. Where's the shipment?
There is no shipment.
This isn't funny, man.
I couldn't agree more.
I don't care how much you jack up the price. Just give me the dust.
There's nothing for me to sell.
You promised that another shipment was coming in.
And there was, but the Saints stole it.
Fuck you then. Where are they slinging? I'll buy from them.
No, you will not. You are upset and want your drugs, this I understand. But there are other solutions.
Like what?
You all will go and steal the drugs from the Saints.
Are you fucking crazy? They'll kill us all.
Perhaps. But if they don't, you will be taken care of for quite some time.
We get to keep what we take?
Oh, yes.
Hate this standing around shit. Why can't something exciting happen?
Now we have another not really notable mission to talk about, you know, ride control. Ride control, honestly, the way I do ride control from before, I literally do it idle. Like, usually do it idle. I don't even have to do anything usually, because it just isn't a mission where you really think about doing anything. You actually don't have to do anything except just escort. Like, you just have to escort that car. That's the only part of this mission where you actually have to do anything. And, you know, you just gotta beat up these, I don't even know, bro, helpless hobos, you know. You know the gist of the mission. I gave you the cutscene. You should know what that's about, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I was helping these guys out just to save time, honestly. Not even anything significant, you know. I wasn't even playing for most of it. I was just literally idling, doing whatever I want, because this part doesn't require any input. None of the parts require any input if you just have the right homies, except the last part, which you just have to drive the car to the checkpoint and end the mission. So here we load up the crates. Of course it's sped up because nothing is happening again. Absolutely nothing is happening in this mission. I don't know who designed this mission. I don't know, this might be my... I mean, I like this mission to some extent, but I think it's actually one of the worst design missions in the game. As for some of the Samedi ones are pretty low quality, but... yeah, overall I think Samedi has the lowest quality storyline out of the series. I mean, out of the 3 gangs. I do think the Brotherhood missions are the most thought, like, they thought of them a lot when they were making them, like, how they were structured, at least at the start. I think they were great. Samedi ones have always just been like, go here, kill these people, and then you end the mission, pretty much. Is it the most difficult one? Probably not. I'd say the hardest one is probably maybe the Ronin, actually. I don't even know which one would be quote-unquote hardest. Well, if you count from the hardest mission in each category, I would say. I don't even know. I actually don't. It's pretty interesting. I would say probably Brotherhood is still... Brotherhood or Ronin is definitely not Samedi. Samedi's filled with very easy missions. I mean, that's why I decided to choose it first. It's the easiest storyline out of all of them. Like, even the strongholds are not even that difficult. I mean, yeah, the trailer park is a bit bad, and yeah, you have that shop and stuff, but yeah, as you can see, I didn't really have to do anything. There's nothing notable going on.
Hey!
I need that!
Where's Sunshine?
Give me the dust!
Fine. Where's Sunshine?
What does it matter? You're gonna kill me anyway.
I'm in no rush.
He hangs out at the old meat packing plant.
See, was that so hard?
And that was pretty much it for this episode. You know, I have thoughts about the next episode being a little bit more packed with better content. Not even my fault that this one ended up being a lot of filler content, but that's just how the missions are structured in this game. The last ones of the Samedi are going to be the next episode, which is going to be way more interesting. It's going to have a lot more content that's worth watching. And for now, like, comment, and subscribe for more good videos, or better quality videos than right now. I think this one's alright, but still, I can get a lot higher quality than this. Goodbye.